Morning, guys. Sorry I'm late this morning, but after what was going on last night and putting a video out at, 11:30 at night, I think it was last night, and then talking with a couple of people over on Prepping 101, I didn't get to bed till 2 in the morning. So, yeah, trying to sort out this whole deal going on in Ukraine. But I had mentioned last night in the live stream and said something about it in the video as well. A player that nobody's talking about. Well, hell, nobody's talking about what's going on over there. I mean, you can't find it on the news anyway. But a player in this whole mess that nobody's talking about is Turkey. All right. And I think it's very important that we watch what Turkey's doing because Erdogan, who's for all intents and purposes, the president of Turkey, is a snake, in my opinion. All right. Turkey's a member of NATO, yes, okay. And Turkey has been on NATO's side, let's just put it this way, with everything that's going on in Syria and with everything going on in Libya. Okay. And you get the Russians who, obviously backing Assad in Syria. So in that respect, Turkey is on our side. I don't know any other way to put it, but you know what I mean. Okay. But this is where I say he's a snake, because at the same time doing that, you also have him going against Greece, Cyprus, and Israel on drilling for oil and natural gas in the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. Now, economically, I get the point. Everybody's going to say, hey, we want to do it. Okay. But then you also get Erdogan supporting the Muslim Brotherhood in opposition to Egypt. All right. So now you get this kind of issue. All right. So you can see how he plays both sides of the fence. Now, this is where it gets interesting. A couple of days ago, Erdogan met with Zelensky, president of Ukraine, and they were kind of talking about a little bit on how to calm everything down. All right. And, like a typical politician, Erdogan saying, that he hopes everything will be resolved diplomatically, and everybody will follow international law. Everybody will respect Ukraine's territorial integrity. Okay, sure, we get all that. I mean, that's your typical political mumbo jumbo. We all know Ukraine wants to be badly part of NATO, which would make the two allies for any sort of purpose. Okay, and in some respects, they already are. Okay, because Ukraine purchases drones from Turkey. And this is all important. So you got to remember, follow along with me here. Ukraine purchases drones from Turkey. Ukraine or Turkish drones are also going to be equipped with Ukrainian engines. All right. So now you have a military industrial complex working together between the two countries. So seeing all this, Libya, Syria, Ukraine, military industrial complex, et cetera, you'd say, okay, fine, Turkey's on Ukraine's side, and that's that. This is where it gets interesting, okay? Erdogan has a close personal, friendly relationship with Vladimir Putin, okay? And so this is, again, where I think he's a snake, is because what can I get from you? What can I get from you? I'm going to play both sides of the fence. We know one side's going to win, and I'll just kind of play fair weather friend. I'll move whichever way the wind blows. If it looks like it's Russia, if it looks like it's Ukraine, I can say I was on their side the whole way. All right. This is where it gets scary, and people say, well, why would you say that, just a friendship between Putin and Erdogan is important? Okay, well, here's why. Militarily, okay, wants to side with Ukraine. Economically, Erdogan's in trouble right now. And I mean, to give you this, Turkey is currently running at about a 16% inflation rate, okay? When Erdogan took power, the Turkish lira, I believe, was about 1.8 to the dollar. It's now 8 to the dollar. So the economy in Turkey is going to hell. Now, who is Turkey's main import partner? Russia. Russia's number one. China's number two. Okay. So now which way do we lean? Economically, we want to lean this way because we need to keep the money flowing to keep the economy afloat, because remember, this is a country that had a coup attempt back in 2016 to try to overthrow Erdogan in the first place. So you get that part. So then what does Russia do? Okay, well, I won't say tourism is a big thing, but this was what I was talking to Mrs. P about last night. A lot of Russians will go to Turkey for vacation, okay, go stay in the Mediterranean and make sense, okay. Putin, and again, think about this, has now basically restricted Russians from going to Turkey for vacation under the guise of, well, it's not safe because of COVID, okay. Sounds great for the people, okay? The underlying reason is that's to keep Russian rubles out of the Turkish economy, okay? So it's a way to restrict their growth, all right? And like anything else, look at any country right now that look at the Dominican Republic, look at the Bahamas, look at whatever, they count on those dollars coming from the United States or whatever to keep their economy afloat. Now, Turkey doesn't need necessarily Russian tourism to keep their economy afloat, because obviously oil is one of their big deals. But still, when your inflation is running at 16%, you can't afford to have money not coming in. So this becomes a real issue, is which way does Erdogan lead? Because again, remember we talked about, or I put the article about the battleships going into the Black Sea. Well, that's kind of Turkey being the gatekeeper, I guess, if you will. So which way does Turkey go with this whole thing? Because they're the linchpin. If they side with Ukraine and NATO, if you will, on this, or do they side with Russia? Or, as I'm saying here, do they go which way the wind blows? And my bet is that the economic forces are eventually going to take precedence, okay? Selling stuff, that's one thing, okay? How this all plays. But keep your eyes open as to what's going on with Turkey. I'm watching this closely and trying to find out what's going on, but every day you see a little bit of a shift. Right now it seems leading more toward Ukraine, supporting Ukraine, okay? That could flip in a day. We don't know. And again, like I said, Turkey's a NATO member, so NATO by contract, if you will, where one goes, we all go. And so, Turkey's never been a strong NATO member, let's put it that way, because their interests don't lie with the rest of the Western world all the time. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, Muslim Brotherhood. But keep a very close eye on it, because what's going on over there is not pretty. And, that's going to be the telltale of what we got. So just watch everything closely. I will keep up on it as we can. I know it's not... What I just talked about is not exactly, beans and rice or anything, but the whole point of doing it is if something goes off over there, then it's going to affect us here. And I'm trying to make sure we pay attention to who all the main players are right now. I mean, Belarus has kind of moved troops. Belarus supports the Russian side. They've moved troops. I told you last night about the bombing. So let's keep an eye on this. We'll see what goes on. I mean, fortunately, there hasn't been anything that I've seen or heard overnight. Overnight for us, daytime over there. But everybody keep a close eye on it. All right, I got trees to plant, guys. I will keep the alerts coming if they need be. I apologize again for it being after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast for getting this information out to you, but I got to sleep sometime. All right, y'all. Have a great Sunday. Pinball out.